Welcome to it. It's the Setlhare Energy team reporting live from Midrand. We're about to head off to Upington. Got my nigga Muhlolo there, Alex the call. Alex the one. Then we've got Nkosi Abantu. Nkosi, I don't know how he said it, but we're running out of space. But we'll definitely make space before when we get to the storeroom. So it's very cold. But we're on our way and we're looking forward to an installation. It's a 16 kilowatt upgrade. We've been there before. We installed a 5 kilowatt inverter and a 5 kilowatt battery. So now the client wants to go 20 kilowatt hour with the batteries and a 16 kilowatt for the inverter, and then 11 more panels to make it 16 panels in total. So there's our journey, trying to document everything, trying to make it into a nice diary or a nice video podcast. So stick with us, enjoy it, and then we'll tell you what happens during the journey. See you later. Hola my gents, hola my gents. Away we go see. Yeah man, we made it. Yeah, it was a long drive, but yeah, we're just waiting for the client to open, and yeah, that's it. Muhlolo, how was your Babala's ride? somebody got up to no good yesterday, and we can see this by what he was eating. Chicken licking. I'm not gonna say what. Nkosi, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're here. Okay, there's Nkosi. Nkosi's being quiet at the back there. But yeah, man, it's 10 to 5. So we're gonna go ahead and hit it. We'll see how it goes. Gonna push as much as possible. Whatever I don't finish, we're gonna finish tomorrow. But we are known to be men of miracles. So yeah. Shop. Okay, on site and about to start. There it is. The panels are going right there on top. We're gonna try and do a north orientation, 8x8. If it doesn't work out, we're gonna use the east or the west. But we're gonna try and fit everything right on there or right on top. We make it a north orientation. Okay, day 2 of our installation, and I'm just at breakfast. It's almost 7 o'clock, waiting for the boys to come, and yeah, it was a tough night. We finished at about 9 o'clock at night, so we only managed to mount the roof structure. So today we'll be putting in solar panels and completing the installation. Yeah, it didn't go as fast as usual because usually we bring a solar installer, the person that concentrates on installing solar panels, and we normally will concentrate on the inverter and batteries. But today, because of yesterday, because of space, we couldn't fit everybody in the car, and we're a team of 3. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I already have my stuff here, so that's my slow mag ready to go in, and with that beautiful Jane helping us here, and the breakfast is supposed to be served. So maybe let me get started. There we go. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I'll have an omelette tonight with everything. Okay. Awesome. The team Setlhare edit again. So second day. About to hear it. Muhlolo, are you ready? It's gonna be a long day. Always. There's our manager, our tool manager. He's ready. It's gonna be a long day, Nkosi. Are you ready? Sabangen. Okay, guys, it's Upington. Let's get this done as quickly as possible. And 7 o'clock, let's see what time we can finish. So we're back on site, and you can see that our mounting structure is there. Luckily, we could mount all panels facing north. So we've got 16 panels in total. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 6 at the bottom and 10 on the upper row. So the upgrade is going to happen here. What we have is a 5 kilowatt grow-watt inverter installed by Setlhare Energy, and yeah, we're just going to upgrade this to a 16 kilowatt. So stay tuned as we turn this into a proper station. Yeah, so enjoy the ride. And we start off by measuring where we're gonna put our batteries. We've got 4 batteries, so we're gonna spread it out. We're gonna leave the original battery where it is, and then add 2 more to the right and 1 to the left. So here's Mahlolo taking off the inverter, and I'm busy trying to measure, get the trunking, make sure that it's neat, getting a space in between. One thing that makes our installations neat is that we make sure that we use a spirit level all the time. And then there's the inverters off, and then these Dynas batteries come with a template where you can make holes, so we love them for that. And they come with cables and the whole works, so it's a very, very good quality product, nicely packed as well. Comes with a lot of cables. I'm sure there's like 10 cables inside that pack, and nice 1.5 meters 25 millimeter battery cables that are already lugged, and then I've already made our markings. The holes are going in there. We're using the original screws, the expansion screws. Yeah, so they're a bit difficult. Sometimes they get too long and the battery doesn't fit properly because they stick out, but it's they come with a battery, so you might as well just use them. And yeah, so we are busy now, ready to put on the brackets, and then the brackets go on and we tighten, and there's Nkosi busy drilling, and also everybody just taking part and just making sure that we move as quickly as possible and hammer it in. And there it is. The battery mounting session is underway. So now the batteries are ready to go on, and we can put on the batteries. There's a second battery going on, and we're gonna put on the third one, and we've got all batteries on. And it's always nice to put some plastic cover because we haven't finished drilling, so to protect the Ethernet ports from getting too much dust in there, just put a plastic. Then there goes our bus bar. Lola's busy with it, nicely drilled. The other thing about battery cables, the reason why you see that we've got so much battery cables on some of the batteries is because battery cables need to be the same size to avoid them, not communicating properly. And we start crimping, and we start putting on some shrink sleeving. We don't use insulation tapes. An insulation tape on our battery cable to give it that professional look. We like putting on some shrink sleeving, which gives it that proper look. There's the battery fuse going on. We're nicely measured. Make sure that everything is symmetrical, nicely in the middle, and we can mount it. We also put some coach screws in there because it's a big 315 amp fuse disconnect. 315 amp fuse should give you about 17 kilowatts max. Then I think Mr. Fellow switched off for us there. That's why the video went a bit dark. So we're gonna use our auxiliary light, which is also powered from the same batteries we use for our power tools. And then yeah, the works just keeps on going. Shrinks leaving there and there, making sure that all batteries are connected to the bus bar. Batteries are we're using 25mm battery cable, and then to link up to the fuse, because there's going to be more current going up. We're using I think it's a 95mm DC cable, which makes sure that the inverter, when it's pulling power, it's good enough, it's within spec. Then we put in our next trunking, measure it a bit, make sure that it's nice and level, using spirit level again, testing it out, and once it's on properly, we're ready to make sure that we mount it. So the battery side is done. Now we can go up and try and fit trunking. Once the trunking is in, we start drilling. There we go. There's all that teamwork that's going on. We've got a synergy with the guys. You know, everybody just knows exactly what to do, and they've got their responsibilities. And excuse the mess with the tools. Usually we don't work like this, but we were under pressure, and yeah, our tool manager was just also helping with the job, because we couldn't take enough crew to come and do this whole job because of space constraints. Yeah, the combi couldn't take, even the solar panel team, we couldn't take them. So now it's time to mount the inverter. I am there measuring, making sure that everything is gonna fit nicely. We start drilling. These tiles are a bit difficult to go through, so we normally use a hammer drill, and the problem with it is that it cracks at times, but it cracks the tiles, and therefore we just use a normal drill and just use a combination of the two. And it's as simple as that. The inverter is mounted nice and square, making sure that everything is measured nicely. And then the trunking for the I think this is for the AC. Now it's gonna come this side. We like putting different AC and DC in different trunkings. Getting thirsty, you can see Coca-Cola always saves the day. And then now it's time to get the DC cabling from the fuse, disconnect into the inverter, nicely measured. And then now we're just marking the holes, where the holes are gonna go. Using a step drill, we drill our holes in order to put our couplings, so that we can put in the sprout, which gives it that nice finish. As long as you measure them nicely, and it gives it that professional look as well, in my opinion. Now we can put in our battery cabling, which comes from the fuse disconnect and going into the inverter. I'm doing the DC part of it because it's helping me to lug it there with this big look. We've got the hydraulic crimper, but we just found this one, this manual, it just works so much better. And again, we have to make sure that the cabling is exactly the same size for the negative and the positive. Just make sure that there's enough this good current flow and there's no complications. So now that we've done that, we can move on to the next part. The next part would then be the comms port. So getting the communication from the master battery, making sure that it communicates with the inverter. And there's the AC. Of course, he's putting the AC, working with Mahlola there while I carry on. Mahlola's on the other side, working on the DB box, which is in the living room, and we're making headway. Right now it's getting exciting because it's almost time to switch on. So there I am working on the PV DB box, or sometimes called the PV combiner box. But we've got two strings coming in, so there's nothing that's been combined there. It's just straight going into the one string and the second string, and both feeding into different MPPTs. And yeah, the guys are also busy on the AC there. We've pulled in a cable using a 16mm AC cabling to make sure that it can carry the weight. We removed the 6mm that we used for the 5 kilowatt. So now, because we're going to be carrying more current, we need to beef it up. So we've got a thicker cable that can handle the current, can handle the 16 kilowatt if need be. Usually it doesn't even get to that, but you never know. You must actually spec according to what your manufacturer recommends. So yeah, there's me working on the PV cabling, still working on the AC, and this show is on a roll. There is a PV string coming, and so I'm gonna go into the inverter. So we've got the first MPPT, so string 1 wired, all and done. And then we got string number 2, wire it up, put it in, and it's gonna go into the second MPPT on the inverter, making sure that we put our surge, then our fuses, or fuse and fuse. From the fuse, then we go into the surge, and then the surge we go into the isolator for isolating the PV. So then you've got both strings, and so I was just waiting to put in his AC. I've already prepared the sprug for him, and now we need to give power to the inverter. So at the moment we're just running out of space there. Everybody's on top of each other, but we are a good team. We know how to work with each other. And Mpelo's ready. He knows I usually make way for him so that he can put in his AC, and I just make sure that I like cutting the sprugs, making sure that everything is done, good engineering lines, nice and straight, using everything I've learned from aviation and making sure that it's done right the first time. And there's our earthing and our earth. We earth the batteries, we also earth the solar panels, and a bit of wiring inside, wire the load, wire the grid, and then we make sure that everything is done correctly, and the show is on a roll. This is exciting, and because it's coming to an end. And when I'm on my phone, sometimes I always like referring to the manual. Can never be sure, especially with these Samsungs. Sometimes I get confused with the direction of the CT, so I always make sure, even with the torque, when you're setting the torque for refer to the manual. You never know, it might be updated. So I don't keep manuals on me. I like downloading them from the Samsung website for the latest and greatest. And finally, we can go and work on the solar panels. And as you can see, it's a very windy day, very hard to work on here. We needed to fix some tiles first, that just to make sure that even whatever that was installed before, it's nice and secure. Checking roof hooks, they're nicely secure. And yeah, we're starting off with the first solar panel, and then we're bringing the second one in a very windy day. We already have 5 panels that are connected on one string. we're gonna leave them as they are, and then at the end we're gonna add 3 more. So now the 2 new ones is forming a new string. So we've got first top left, and the second one as panel 1 and 2 of the second string, and then we link it to the one that we're doing now, which is going to be panel number 3, and we're connecting them as we're moving on. And then we're just building the second array. So it's the string 2, making sure that everything is straight, everything is aligned, and it's pretty obvious to see which ones are new, because you can see the ones are a bit shiny. So we are halfway, because we've got 4 there, halfway with the second one, with the second string, and the wind is not stopping either, which is making our life a bit hard, but it's part of the game. Keep on doing what we have to do. So there we are, slowly getting there. But in this business, some things have to be done slowly to make sure that you do it right. No need to rush, because if you rush, you make mistakes. So I make sure that every single clamp is tight and is hooked to the right hook, making sure that it doesn't come off, even if there's a storm, making sure that it's nice and secure. So there we are, done. So we move on to the inside, and we're busy finishing off the AC. So we're busy closing up. The AC is actually finished. You can see with the red light and the green light, meaning that the inverter is on. There's Escom, and there is backup power. So we're putting back the trunking, making sure that it's nice and neat. All 4 batteries installed, 20 kilowatt hour of power. Because obviously you can only use 4 kilowatts or kilowatt hour. So in reality, you only have 16 kilowatts, because you have to leave about 1 kilowatt, say 20% on a battery. And then closing up, making sure that everything is nice and sealed, and it is that time that we've all been waiting for. We start labeling, and you see the labeling machine, you know that we are there, we are done. So putting on stickers, our tool manager Nkosi busy with his cleaning there, making sure that everything is nice and clean, removing all marks, making sure that the inverter is clean, and we can put our Setlhare Energy sticker, labeling the battery disconnect there, the bus bar, making sure that everything is nicely labeled. Battery 1, battery 2, battery 3. I was told not to use slave anymore, and slave and master. Some people got offended, but yeah, we now call it the master. Then you go battery 1, battery 2, battery 3, and we like using silicone to give it that nice finish. You know, silicone helps with closing off gaps and making sure that everything is nice and neat, and that's what I'm doing there with the silicone, making sure that everything is nicely sealed. Started doing his checks there as well, and it is that time where we pick up and go. Everything is good, so we can pick up now. I'm doing my final settings. I can obviously set this on the app, but sometimes it's nice to just set it on the machine itself. And just doing a final walk around, checking if everything is on in the house, if there's putting the inverter on the app, creating a user profile, because the client used to use a growatt. Now they are using a SunSync, so now we're putting them on the SunSync portal. Day 3 of our adventure. We are tired. We got Ngosi here, who's never slept for 6 hours in his life. He slept for 6 hours today. He's finished. And then Ngosi, how do you feel, Ngosi? How was yesterday? You feel tired? You worked there? Okay. And then Musholo,
Hola.
how was your experience?
Yo.
Yeah.
Hectic,
ne?
Yeah, but worth it.
But worth it, ne?
Yeah.
We are alive. Sebenzile. Asbonge. Okay. So our journey back to Joburg begins. We are tired. So we just left at this beautiful place called Desert. What is it? Desert Inn. Kala. Desert Casino or something like that. And it looks like that. Very nice place, I have to say. Yeah, so let's go. Alright. We just got to Oliphant's Hook. Our first refill. It's a town somewhere back in the Kalahari. Yeah. Getting there slowly. Time, what's the time, Kalo? 10:34. Let's see what time we get home. And we're gonna grab some breakfast. We don't have enough time to eat breakfast. And yeah, let's see how it goes.